I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Village Board for October 22nd, 2019. Can you please join us for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Village Clerk, would you please call the roll?
President DeSimone?
Here.
Trustee Carmona? Here. Trustee Franz?
Here.
Trustee Fry?
Here.
Trustee Lomax?
Here.
Trustee Penicola?
Here.
Trustee Perez?
Here.
That's 7.
At this time, we will move to public comment. Does anyone wish to address the board? If so, please approach the podium and state your name. Do we have public comment?
Yes, we have 3. Mr. Donald? Oh,
Yanasotis.
Thank you, sorry.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, didn't see it, sorry.
Is it on?
Yes, sir.
I'm here to talk about the road reconstruction we're suffering with now, again, as usual. I've been a tax-paying resident for 60 years, and I'm very annoying to try to drive in and out of this town, and I do that a lot. And I wonder why we can't get the construction company to work in the daylight evening hours in the summer, why they don't work on a good Saturday or a good Sunday in decent weather. And I wonder if anyone here can tell me specifically why we don't demand them to do that. Anyone?
Joe, you got anything on that?
What?
We actually do have a village ordinance that limits the construction hours to 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and no work on the weekends without permission. So this is a ordinance to help residents when they're home, not to have to suffer through the construction, but I do realize that it does cause construction issues during the day.
Well, the only time I saw overtime work was just recently on the Church Road because they were pouring concrete and they couldn't just quit and go away. I rarely see anybody working until 7 o'clock at night. In the summertime, it's daylight till 8:30. I rarely see anybody work Saturdays and Sundays. Are we not giving them permission, or are we asking for them to work?
Well, I think if they work on the weekends, it's going to cost the village time and a half and then double time.
Who's the guy here who signed that contract?
Well, the problem is they work a 40-hour week.
No, who signed the contract who said they could tell us what to do?
Nobody signed the contract to tell us what to do, but the problem is we have to fit into their parameters and their work schedule on their bidding process. So that's what they bid. So we try to go for the lowest responsible bid on that, and that's kind of how it worked out, how we got the best deal for our money, the most out of it.
In the meantime, we're struggling with the streets the way they are.
Unfortunately, this downtown streetscape project is the 3rd year of a 3-year project, so that's going to be done November. So that'll be done. We'll be done downtown, and they're on schedule as of right now. York Road moved pretty quickly. They worked on that pretty quickly. They went real well on that one. And the problem with the bike path now, it's pretty much complete. We just have one section near the old police station that needs to be worked on.
Well, that doesn't really answer my question. We're still struggling with this mess outside here.
We are, but in order to improve the town, I mean, we have to go with the parameters that we have.
I understand that.
Okay.
But did the contract have to call for time and a half on overtime or Saturdays?
Joe, I mean, I think that's a standard. That's a standard.
Who's standard?
First of all, it's Illinois state law for them to work overtime on the weekends because they work a normal 40-hour Monday through Friday work week. So if we need them to work longer or stay longer, we would have to compensate them for that. And when you say that they stayed longer, like to finish a project, that costs us money. The only time I've seen them kind of work longer is if they lost a bunch of days, like the weather, then they'll stay a little longer. But that's on their own, that's not on us. So we try to fit into the lowest possible bid, the lowest possible price, and that's kind of where it fits in.
In 60 years, it hasn't been this bad here in Bensonville.
Well, this is the first year we've done almost $10 million in street work. We did $10 million this year in street work. And a third of that was free money.
I'm still not satisfied.
Sorry.
Thank you for listening.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next person up is Mr. Paul DeMichael.
I'm Paul DeMichael. I live at 17W275 Rodick Lane. One of the items on the agenda tonight is about adult use cannabis. This is really a large issue buried in small print. My suggestion, if you want to give the public who has to live with the sales of adult use cannabis, is to put a question on the ballot in March, a referendum. You could word it something like this. Shall the Village of Bensonville, in light of state legislation legalizing the possession, consumption, and sale of recreational adult use of cannabis, allow the sale of recreational adult use cannabis within its jurisdiction? You ought to let all the people in town express an opinion through a referendum. Won't cost you anything to put it on the ballot. Should give it a try.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
This evening, I was talking to some of the business people in town. They're struggling. One operation said they're doing 65% in September than they did the year before. Someone else said they're doing 50% of what they used to do. And even the movie house said so, it was slow. I forgot to tell you, I just want to throw that in, something for you guys to think about. Thank you.
Thank you.
The third one is Mr. Mike Jaffe. I got it.
Good evening. My name is Michael Jaffe. I've been a resident for 26 years. My family and I enjoy living in Bensonville. It's a wonderful place to live. The reason I'm here tonight is to say thank you. A while ago, Public Works took down a diseased tree on the parkway. Unfortunately, a limb fell on my sidewalk, causing some damage. I appreciate Mr. Summers and Mr. Karachi helping me with this issue. There's an old proverb, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So that's exactly what Mr. Summers and Mr. Karachi did. They resolved the issue in a professional and fair manner, and I truly appreciate that. And that's why I just want to say thank you. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment?
No, that's it.
This will conclude oh, we have one more?
Oh, Mr. James Nylander? Is Pastor James Nylander?
Hello, my name is James Nylander, and forgive me, I actually ran to get up here, and my body's not used to exercise, so my lungs are still adapting. Nevertheless, I wanted to say thank you for listening to me, Village President DeSimone and board members, trustees. I wanted to address the things I've been hearing about adult use cannabis in our town. And given that I'm a resident and I work here, my life is absolutely absorbed in Bensonville. And given my profession, I'm a pastor, I'm also a chaplain for the Bensonville Police Department. I am infinitely concerned about the well-being of our inhabitants. That being said, I realize that our state has legalized the use as of January 1st for recreational marijuana to adults 21 years and older in controlled quantities. However, having worked in psychiatric institutions, I have a master's degree, I was a psychotherapist, I worked with children and adolescents who were taken away from the state, taken away from their families by the state, oftentimes due to drug addiction. That being said, I understand very well what happens to children who've been put into the system. There is no excellent or even close second way of dealing with children who've been taken away from their families. And if you've ever dealt with an individual who's dealing with substance abuse, understand it becomes their primary relationship. There is no secondary relationship, it's a primary one. Their thinking converts from what we would call normalized thinking to addictive thinking. Their bodies crave it, they long for it, and they will pursue that, in some cases, by all means. Having dealt with these types of situations, I've also dealt inpatient with people who were using marijuana at much lower levels. The marijuanas of the 60s and 70s were 1% to 2% THC levels. What the corporations have done in an attempt to increase the high and the demand for their drugs, they've increased the THC levels up to 99% in some cases with what they call shatter or the oils, etc. Another thing that's not being talked about very much is the close association between marijuana use with high THC levels and subsequent psychosis or psychotic breaks. And if you've never dealt with somebody who's had a psychotic break, people stripping their clothes off, walking out into the middle of roads, people claiming to be Jesus Christ, people going on assaults of their families. They believe the government is trying to, wire them or watch them or follow them. And this can be an absolute nightmare for our first responders and exceptionally deadly. It's a dangerous thing to deal with someone who's had a full psychotic break, who believes that everybody's out to get them. And literally, they're filled with adrenaline and they have no reason. But we have a lot of corporations who are saying, hey, you know what? One man said, I've seen no problems whatsoever in the various communities where we've put our dispensaries. So if I may, I just want to share very briefly in closing what the Chicago Tribune came out with. Numbers of Colorado. Currently, Colorado, if I understand correctly, is spending $4 for every $1 they take in legalized marijuana. In addition to that, according to an article on May 31st, 2019, in the Chicago Tribune, entitled Recreational Marijuana in Colorado, What the Numbers Say About Health, Safety, and Tax Dollars, it said basically that the arrests for selling or possession of marijuana were cut by more than half from 2012 to 2017. But the number of arrests for people growing marijuana in their homes jumped almost 400% as people began to grow. Driving issues with fatalities related to marijuana positive drivers jumped to over double, almost triple the number. First-time health effect related users with emergency department visits jumped dramatically. So when you look at the taxation of our systems, whether it be police and fire, absolutely, paramedics, etc., this is not going to convert well. I heard the number that we might get something like $400,000 in additional tax revenue dollars. And I understand that we always want to ease the tax burden on our residents. This will not be an ease on our residents. It will actually be a bane. Potential drops in property values. There was an increase in the number of homelessness in each community where they did this. So Colorado, Washington, and Oregon were among the top four. They increased chronically in the homelessness of people that now inhabited their states. Some moved there, others lost their jobs because of drug use. I implore you, as those who we have wonderfully entrusted with the leadership of our community, and we know that you serve through the kindness of your hearts. You don't get a lot for doing this, and we're so grateful for who you are. We're grateful for your kindness. And I ask you not to think about the bottom line, about what small revenue can come in, but think about the families that would be powerfully and in some cases irrevocably changed by having greater access to mind and mood altering drugs in our community. Think of the impact that that can have on one family. I talked to a woman who knows me from the community, and she said, "This scares me. My son is addicted to marijuana. I don't want him to have more readily accessible ability to it." So I ask you to make a decision that's in our best interests. We need no more vices. Bensonville is rising. Let us not put anything in its way to stop it. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody, any other ones? This will conclude our public comment. At this time, I would ask that we deviate from the regular order of business in order to announce the winners of our 2019 Village of Bensenville Landscaping Contest and the winner of the Halloween Home Decorating Contest. Is there a motion to deviate from the agenda for the announcements?
You have a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
There being a motion and a second, is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. The motion carries. Our first presentation is the award for the 2019 Village of Bensenville Landscaping Contest, which is determined by the Garden Club of Bensenville. And we have a Garden Club member here. Mary Ann is in our audience. We have two? Only one checked in. Susan? Welcome. Welcome. So we will now announce the 2019 Village of Bensenville Landscaping Contest winners determined by the Garden Club of Bensenville. So should we go backwards to forwards? Like build up the suspense?
Oh, yeah. I like suspense.
Sorry. So our third place winner is 245 Addison. Come on up.
Yeah, come on up. Oh, come on, Pete. Do it.
Second place winner is I gotta put my glasses on, sorry. 421 Addison. Congratulations.
Okay.
I don't know, is our first place winner here? Our first place winner is 457 Barron Street. Well, congratulations, 457 Barron Street. And now our announcements for the 2019 Halloween Home Decorating Contest. Second place is 237 Mohawk Drive.
All right. Yeah.
And our first place winner, 209 South Church.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Scares the bejesus out of me. Which one?
Oops, sorry.
All right, now on to the rest of the board meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the October 8th, 2019 Village Board meeting?
So moved.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any modifications to the minutes? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Motion carries and the minutes are approved. The next item of business is to approve the warrant in the amount of $771,307.38. Is there a motion to approve the warrant?
So moved.
Is there a second on the motion?
Second.
Is there any discussion on the warrant? Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona? Yes. Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 6.
The motion carries and the warrant is approved. Would the deputy village clerk please read the 16 ordinances and resolutions on the consent agenda that were discussed at the committee of the whole meeting?
Number 1, resolution authorizing the applications to seek community development block grant assistance for the 2021 annual residential streetlight project and Kevin Stoneham Franzen Improvement Project. 2, resolution authorizing amendment number 1 to Phase 1 Design Engineering Services Agreement with Civil Tech Engineering, Inc. for the IL-83 CMAQ-TCM project in the amount of $46,525.43 for revised contract cost not to exceed in the amount of $130,574.43. 3, resolution authorizing amendment number 1 to Phase 2 Design Engineering Services Agreement with Civil Tech Engineering, Inc. for the IL-83 CMAQ-TCM project in the amount of $18,253 for a revised contract cost not to exceed in the amount of $141,948. 4, resolution authorizing the execution of a final balancing change order with Boulder Contractors, Inc. of Cary, Illinois, in a credit of $12,447.80 for the 2019 water main replacement project for a final contract cost of $1,548,030. 5, resolution authorizing the execution of a contract with Compass Minerals for the purchase of 800 tons of bulk rock salt and a not to exceed amount of $75,704. 6, ordinance approving a special use permit to allow indoor recreation at 540 North York Road. 7, ordinance approving a text amendment to Title 10 zoning ordinance creating regulations for operation of adult use cannabis business establishments. 8, resolution authorizing an ice arena and facility usage license agreement with the North American Hockey League. 9, resolution establishing guidelines and procedures for the 2019-2020 Senior Disabled Snow Removal Program. 10, resolution authorizing the execution of a contract with LAR Lawn and Grounds for the 2019-2020 to Senior Disabled Snow Removal Program. 11, resolution authorizing the execution of a contract with Sean Milness, doing business as CTC Services LLC for the 2019-2020 Senior Disabled Snow Removal Program. 12, resolution authorizing the execution of a contract with Selvin Landscaping for the 2019-2020 Senior Disabled Snow Removal Program. 13, resolution authorizing the execution of a contract with Thomas Herrera for the 2019-2020 Senior Disabled Snow Removal Program. 14, ordinance of the Village of Bentsville, DuPage and Cook Counties, Illinois, amending Section 8-7-7 of Chapter 7 of Title 8 of the Bentonville Village Code with regard to water and sewer rates. 15, resolution establishing the tax levy estimate in the amount of $5,578,210 for the 2019 per the Truth in Taxation Act. 16, resolution waiving competitive bidding and authorizing a purchase order to Lund Industries, Inc. of Northbrook, Illinois for the equipment upfit of 3 police vehicles in a not to exceed amount of $18,000.
Is there a motion to approve the 16 resolutions and ordinances listed on the consent agenda and as read by the deputy clerk?
Give a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona?
Yes. Yes.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 6.
Motion carries and the items on the consent agenda are approved. We do not have a report under administration. Under community and economic development, it's an ordinance approving a variation to allow a monument sign less than 5 feet from the front lot line at 14 North York Road. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
You have a motion.
Do I have a second on the motion?
In a second.
There being a motion and a second, is there any discussion?
I need to recuse myself as being the property owner.
And I need to recuse because I live in the building.
Okay. So trustee Perez and trustee Fry are recusing themselves from the vote. Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona?
Yes.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
That's 4.
Motion carries and ordinance is passed. Under Finance, the resolution authorizing 2 3-year contracts with Comcast Business to provide business trunk services and business internet services. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
Do you have a motion?
Do I have a second on the motion?
Second.
There being a motion and a second, is there any discussion?
I'll take this one.
Okay.
Comcast approached us and told us that we can get faster internet for less money. So we took advantage of that and asked them if they could also give us quotes on our trunk lines, which are currently being serviced by Call One. In the end, they gave us a bid for our trunk lines that was much lower than Call One currently has. So we are recommending that we approve the 2 contracts attached to this resolution, which will save the village about $4,800 per year. And even though there's some upfront costs, those upfront costs will be paid back in a little over a year.
There being a motion, second discussion, any other questions from the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona?
Yes.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 6.
Motion carries and the resolution is approved. Number 2 is an ordinance abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2019 to pay debt services on $17,975,000 Series 2011A General Obligation Bonds, alternate revenue source of the Village of Bensenville, Counties of Cook and DuPage, Illinois. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
You have a motion?
Do I have a second?
Second.
There being a motion and a second, is there any discussion?
Yes, these are the annual resolutions that we put together to abate the taxes on all of our alternate revenue debt issues. It is beneficial for us to do this both because it shows that we are financially able to pay for the debt on all of these issues with the other revenues that we have associated with them, and it keeps this from passing on as an additional tax to the residents. So this is similar to every one of these. On the first one, if you look under the budget impact section, we're actually abating $644,225. That's where you can see them on the rest of them. I'll answer any questions on the forward ones if you need me to.
Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona?
Yes.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 6.
Motion carries and the ordinance is passed. Number 3, ordinance abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2019 to pay debt service on $7,205,000 Series 2011B General Obligation Bond, alternative revenue source of the Village of Bensenville, Counties of Cook and DuPage, Illinois. Is there a motion to approve?
You have a motion?
Do I have a second?
Second.
There being a motion and a second, discussion, same as the last one, correct?
Yes.
Any other discussion from the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona?
Yes.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 6.
Motion carries and the ordinance is passed. Number 4 is an ordinance abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2019 to pay debt service on $1,380,000 Series 2011C General Obligation Bonds, alternate revenue source of the Village of Bensenville, Counties of Cook and DuPage, Illinois. Is there a motion to approve?
You have a motion?
Do I have a second?
Second.
There being a motion and a second, any discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona?
Yes.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 6.
Motion carries and the ordinance is passed. Number 5 is an ordinance abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2019 to pay debt service on $1,630,000 Series 2011D General Obligation Bonds, alternate revenue source of the Village of Bensenville, Counties of Cook and DuPage, Illinois. Is there a motion to approve?
You have a motion?
Do I have a second?
Second.
There being a motion and a second, any discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona?
Yes.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 6.
Motion carries and the ordinance is passed. Number 6 is an ordinance abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2019 to pay debt service on $1,730,000 Series 2012A General Obligation Bonds, alternate revenue source of the Village of Bensenville, Counties of Cook and DuPage, Illinois. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
You have a
Do I
motion?
have a second?
Second.
There being a motion and a second, any discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona?
Yes.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 6.
Motion carries and the ordinance is passed. Number 7 is an ordinance abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2019 to pay debt service on $945,000, Series 2012B, general obligation bonds, alternate revenue source of the Village of Bensenville, Counties of Cook and DuPage, Illinois. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
You have a motion?
Do I have a second?
Second.
There being a motion and a second, any discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona?
Yes.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 6.
Motion carries and ordinance is passed. Number 8 is an ordinance abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2019 to pay debt service on $1,400,000, Series 2012C, general obligation bonds, alternate revenue source of the Village of Bensenville, Counties of Cook and DuPage, Illinois. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
We have a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
There being a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona?
Yes.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 6.
Motion carries and ordinance is passed. Number 9 is an ordinance abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2019 to pay debt service on $5,345,000, Series 2012E, general obligation bonds, alternate revenue source of the Village of Bensenville, Counties of Cook and DuPage, Illinois. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
You have a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
There being a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona?
Yes.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 6.
Motion carries and ordinance is passed. Number 10 is an ordinance abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2019 to pay debt service on $3,785,000, Series 2013A, general obligations bonds, alternate revenue source of the Village of Bensenville, Counties of Cook and DuPage, Illinois. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
You have a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
There being a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona?
Yes.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 6.
Motion carries and ordinance is passed. Number 11 is an ordinance abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2019 to pay debt service on $8 million, Series 2013 E, general obligation bonds, alternate revenue source of the Village of Bensenville, Counties of Cook and DuPage, Illinois. Is there a motion to approve?
We have a motion.
Do I have a second on the motion?
Second.
There being a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona?
Yes.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 6.
Motion carries and ordinance is passed. Number 12 is an ordinance abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2019 to pay debt service on $1,625,000, Series 2014A, general obligation bonds, alternate revenue source of the Village of Bensenville, Counties of Cook and DuPage, Illinois. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
You have a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
There being a motion and a second, any discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona?
Yes.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 6.
Motion carries and ordinance is passed. Number 13 is an ordinance abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2019 to pay debt service on $6,815,000, Series 2014B, general obligation bonds, alternate revenue source, with the Village of Bensenville, Counties of Cook and DuPage, Illinois. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
You have a motion.
Do I have a second on the motion?
Second.
There being a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona?
Yes.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 6.
Motion carries and ordinance is passed. Number 14 is an ordinance abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2019 to pay debt services on $2,425,000, Series 2014E, general obligation bonds, alternate revenue source of the Village of Bensenville, Counties of Cook and DuPage, Illinois. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
We have a
Do
motion.
I have a second?
Second.
There being a motion and a second, any discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona?
Yes.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Penicola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 6.
The motion carries and ordinance is passed. Number 15, ordinance abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2019 to pay debt service on $9,945,000, Series 2017A, general obligations bond, alternate revenue source of the Village of Bensenville, Counties of Cook and DuPage, Illinois. Is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
There being a motion and a second, any discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Carmona?
Yes.
Trustee Franz?
Yes.
Trustee Fry?
Yes.
Trustee Lomax?
Yes.
Trustee Pena Cola?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
That's 6.
Motion carries and the ordinance is passed. That was fun, huh? We do not have any reports on the police department or public works or recreation, so we'll move on to presidential remarks. As you may have already noticed, we are all wearing pink ribbons today to symbolize breast cancer awareness in the month of October. The Village of Bensonville is committed to raising awareness about breast cancer and the impact it has on our loved ones, friends, colleagues, and community members. Little construction update. There will be very minimal work going on Church Road Bike Path project this week as we are awaiting ComEd to relocate 2 guide wires. At this time, we are expecting crews to return to the site next week to begin working on the box culvert extension. On the downtown streetscape project, the contractor will be milling the surface pavement on Green Street tomorrow, which is Wednesday. The remainder of the week will consist of completing the stamped concrete sidewalk, installing binder pavement in the parking stalls and along Green Street, and preparing the rest of the corridor for paving next week. We are anticipating installing the binder and surface pavement earlier to mid next week. The final steps of the project will include the installation of stamped concrete crosswalks. During this 2-step effort, we will be keeping the current Phase 2 traffic pattern in place while we install 1/2 of the crosswalks. Once installed, we will convert back to the Phase 1 traffic pattern for approximately 1 week to complete the installation of the other half of the crosswalks. We are approaching the home stretch on both of these projects. We appreciate the patience we have received during this process and encourage everyone to navigate safely through the corridors for the next few weeks. One last announcement, Halloween hours in the village are from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. for trick-or-treaters. We do not have a village manager today. Do we have a village attorney's report?
I have no report, Mr. President.
Is there any unfinished business to come before the board tonight? Is there any new business to come before the board tonight? Is there a need for executive session?
There is not, Mr. President.
Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
You have a motion.
Do I have a second on the motion?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.